Good morning, dear students. Today we will discuss about the nutritive value of the soil. How to improve the fertility of the soil so that we can get a good harvest of the crops. So, first thing that we are going to discuss is that plants, they require nutrients to grow, and to give a good harvest of the crops. What farmers do? They use various methods to increase the fertility of the soil. And what are these? Let us study one by one. First one is field fallowing. This is a very unique method in which the farmer leaves the field or the piece of the land in which the crops are to be grown they leave it empty for one season or 2 seasons. Okay, like for 1 or more seasons they can leave it empty. Now when they are leaving it empty, what is happening? In that due course of time, some microorganisms that are present in the soil, what they will do? They are going to decompose the organic matter. When the organic matter will be decomposed, then what will happen? That will get converted into humus. Okay, so this humus or the dead organic matter, when added to the soil, it is going to increase the nutritive value of the soil. So it is in turn going to be what? Fertility, increasing the fertility of the soil, or it will make the soil fertile. Then it is the best natural method to recover the nutrients in the soil. Okay, so let us again recapitulate. This is the method in which land or the field is left uncultivated for 1 or more seasons. We leave the land uncultivated for 1 or more seasons. Then second thing that happens is microorganisms that are present in the soil. What they will do? They will decompose the organic matter, whatever is present, like plants, the leftover of the plants, the roots or etc. Some or the other organic matter, whatever is present in the land, will be decomposed, and that will get converted into humus. The word is not unknown to you. It is the dead organic matter called humus. Now this is the only natural method to recover the nutrients. Okay, we are not doing anything which is artificial or man-made agencies. We are not being used here, like adding of fertilizer or something like this. The land is recovering its nutrients on its own in a natural method. This is called fallowing. What do we call it? Fallowing. Fallowing. Second method is crop rotation. The name is giving you a hint. Crop rotation. Rotation means what? That you know about the rotation of the earth. It is moving on its own axis. Here the rotation means that different crops are grown in such a way that alternatively. Okay, one, like you know that in a piece of field or in a field, first wheat is grown in the first seasons, like in nowadays it is the season for wheat. Wheat are to be harvested in by April. And after that, what will be done? We are going to grow paddy or rice in that. After that, when they will be harvested, then we are going to grow wheat. So nearby fields we can see this cycle. So this alternation of the growth of crops, like one is another, and in next season another crop is being grown. So on the same piece of land is called crop rotation. Or we can take like this also, that wheat and rice, when they are grown, in between there is some time. So at that time, sometimes it is done like this also, that people, what do? They, instead of growing wheat or instead of growing paddy, what they will do? They are going to grow some pulses, and we call them leguminous plants or legumes. Okay, and you know very well, in chapter of microorganism also we studied that leguminous plants, they are rich in proteins. Okay, why it is so? Because bacteria are residing or taking shelter in the roots of the plants, such type of plants only, legumes, which are pulses, which are rich in proteins. Okay, so those legumes, they can be grown between rice and wheat, or like this also they can be altered also. So in this way, what legumes are going to do? They will add nitrogen content to the soil. Some bacteria, which bacteria? Do you remember the name of the bacteria? We talked about rhizobium. Rhizobium was the bacteria which was found in the roots of the leguminous plants. See, the roots, they had some swollen parts, and these swollen parts, they contained what in them? The bacteria, symbiosis, that also we discussed in the previous chapter. So this is a symbiotic relationship. So these legumes, they add nutritive, they increase the nutritive value of the soil, and so it is also one of the method to increase the fertility of the soil. Then comes manure. Let us discuss about manures. Manures, what do you mean by manure? Again, the things have been studied by you in previous classes. So what do you mean by manure? Manure is the dead organic matter, dead decomposed organic matter. Okay, like you might have seen in villages, etc., or in nowadays there is a culture of creating compost. Compost or manure is one and the same thing. Okay, so what is being done? Like people, they do what in villages? They create a heap of excreta or dung of the cattle. Cattle dung is collected in a heap. Every day they keep on putting over there only, and they make a big heap of the dung. Now this dung, it gets decomposed by the activity of decomposers. And what are the decomposers? Decomposers are bacteria and fungi. What they will do? Bacteria and fungi, they are going to decompose the dead organic matter. It is not that only dung is there. It can be any organic waste like peels of the vegetables or fruits. It can be some rags. What do you mean by rags? The old clothes that are torn in pieces, that are called rags. Or paper, means whatever is the organic matter, paper, etc. These things, they are collected and they get converted into compost or manure. Okay, so manure is also added to the soil to increase the fertility factor. Now, manures are very good for the soil. Why? Because they add nutritive value, or they make the soil fertile. Besides that, what do? They make the soil porous and airy. This is the second thing that they do. Third thing means porous or airy. They make it porous or airy. They make it fertile, soil fertile, and they also increase the water holding capacity of soil. They increase the water holding capacity of soil, manure. Okay. Besides that, anything else that they do? They are eco-friendly. They do not harm. Eco-friendly in nature. So these are the four very important characteristic features of the manure. They are fertile, they increase the fertility of the soil, they increase the porous or airy nature of the soil, they also increase the water holding capacity or water retention capacity of soil, and besides that, they are eco-friendly in nature, means they are not harming the nature. Okay, so this is about the manures. And but one drawback of manure is that manures, they are not nutrient specific. Okay, manures, this is the disadvantage, you can say, that manure is not nutrient specific, means they do not supply any particular nutrient to the soil. Okay, besides that they are the good. And what else? Like they cannot be stored also properly. Their storage is also a problem. They cannot, not they, it cannot be stored because it is actually stinking. It is releasing foul smell. So storage also is a problem. So besides that, 4 things that we discussed are the good qualities or the advantages, and these are the 2 disadvantages. Okay. Now let us come to the next thing, that is fertilizer. Next point is fertilizer. What do you mean by fertilizer? Unlike manure, fertilizers are the chemical substances. They are the nutrients which are chemical in nature. Fertilizer. These are the chemical substances which increase the nutritive value of soil. Okay, chemical substances which increase the nutritive value of soil. Okay, these are man-made. Or we can say artificially synthesized. synthesized. Artificially synthesized or man-made means they are made in factories. Okay, they are nutrient specific, means they supply a particular nutrient. For example, let me give you name NPK. Okay, NPK. NPK means what? Nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. K is the symbol of potassium. Okay, and these are required by the plants. Plants require nutrients in 2 forms, macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients are the nutrients which are required in large quantities, and micronutrients are the nutrients which are required in very less quantities. So these are the nutrients. Same way, one is ammonium phosphate. These are the names of some fertilizers. Then urea, very common, you might have heard about it. So these are the fertilizers. This is the advantage. But same like manure, they also have disadvantages. The disadvantages are quite harmful. What? They do not increase any kind of water retention capacity, or they are not required, like manures are required in large quantity, but they are required in very less quantity. Okay, they are required in less quantity, while manure was required in large quantity. Besides, they are not eco-friendly. Disadvantages I am talking about now. They can pollute the environment. Okay, not eco-friendly means they can cause pollution. And what is the pollution that they cause? Like when they are irrigated, the field is irrigated, these fertilizers, they get soluble in water, and with the help of water, what will happen? When they are dissolved, they will be added to the water bodies like ponds and all in the villages or river, and they will increase the growth of algae, and algae will grow on the surface of the water. As a result, it will not allow the aquatic vegetation to grow properly, and the plants and organisms that are present in the water, inside the water, they will die, and a stinking smell will be there. So it is not at all eco-friendly. Fine. Second, if they are used in large quantity, they can kill the plants. Why? Because they will desiccate the plant. They will take out whole of the water of the plant and the plant will become useless. It won't grow. So it cannot be used in large quantity. You might have seen the packets are there, jute bags are there which contain, and only the farmer, what he will do, he will take it in his hands and sprinkle. So very less quantity is required in the fields to be used. Okay, so they can be stored easily, unlike manure. Okay, manure could not be stored easily, but they can be stored easily. I am writing here, storage can be easy. Means because they are present in the jute bags. So jute bags can be piled upon each other, and so it's not a problem. Okay, so like this we can write down the difference between manure and fertilizer. So today what you need to do is, you need to write down the various methods. The question is, write down the various methods of increasing fertility of the soil, of the field, soil present in the field. Or you can write another question, what is fallowing? Write a short note on crop rotation, write a short note on crop rotation, and differentiate between fertilizers and manures.